hi again. Part 2, or whatever we're calling this, is happening right now. So if you haven't seen part 1 yet, well, oh my gosh, let me just decide how we're gonna call this. I don't know. We had the video of the updates. I had part 1 of the questions and answers, and this is gonna be part 2 of questions and answers. So if you missed either of the videos before this, go check those out, and that way you know what we're doing. But for right now, I'm going to continue answering questions from the comments you guys left me on the updates video. So let's just jump right back in with the first one, which was hilarious to me and I love it. So the question was, has anyone ever told you that you look like Sigourney Weaver? The answer is no, but I'm very excited about this. This is exciting for me. I like her a lot. So thank you for this. I will never forget that. Next up, how is Gilbert Syndrome doing? You guys may remember I have Gilbert Syndrome, which is like a weird genetic mutation that affects my liver's ability to process bilirubin, which just means that my liver is weird and doesn't really do things correctly, and that causes things like stomach pains and slight jaundice if I don't eat enough calories or if I'm very stressed. With that said, Gilbert Syndrome has been kind of a bear these past few months because I'm very stressed and I've been struggling to get enough calories. So I've been having some stomach pains and I've been drinking a lot of ginger tea, and that's how I've been dealing with that. But so far, so good. You know, it's just one of those things that I deal with, and yeah. So for anyone else struggling with Gilbert Syndrome, I feel you. I feel you so much. All right, so next question, let's jump into all of the different weight loss questions. There were like 500,000 million of them. How did I lose the weight? Can I make videos about it? Did I exercise? What will I do about loose skin? I lost the weight in an arguably unhealthy way. I was a vegan, gluten-free person for a long time, and I just didn't get all of the nutrients that I needed because I probably didn't do enough research on how to do that, plus laziness because it's difficult. And I'm just being real with you guys right now. So the weight just dropped off. Honestly, I attribute that mostly to the fact that I really increased my water intake and decreased my dairy intake. I think cutting out the dairy, because I was such an ice cream person, guys. Like, I'm talking like ice cream every day. So I cut out ice cream, I cut out dairy, which is also ice cream, and just really went to a fairly earth-based diet. And one of the biggest things that I did for myself, because my feeling was that I needed to give my body things that it could process, things that it knew naturally how to process, because I did this because I was having a million stomach problems because Gilbert Syndrome. So it's like this domino effect of crazy. Just, I don't know, I just cut out a bunch of stuff, and so I cut out a lot of processed foods, a lot of sugar, all the dairy, and I replaced all my drinking with water. So when I had that combination, my body just started shedding the weight and is continuing to do so at a much slower pace now, but it was really fast at first and really threw my body for a loop. So my lesson in that is, if you're going to change your diet, do it in a really smart way where you do research and don't be lazy like I'm lazy. So I'm sorry. I know that a lot of you guys have been very supportive of that, and I thank you for that. Seriously, to everyone who is super supportive of that in my comments, just in general, thank you so much. For those of you that are gonna judge based on that stuff, like, cool, I'll still be here. So yeah. Did I exercise during the weight loss? No. Besides the fact that I live in the city where we walk everywhere, that was my only real exercise, and I should have been exercising. I regret not exercising because I know that a lot of my muscles have atrophied in the time that it's been since I started losing weight, a year and a half ago at this point, I guess. So I really am going to start getting to the gym now, soon. Yes. And I need to start like rebuilding my muscles and also working off all of this stuff because I do have the loose skin. So let's segue over to loose skin. I don't know. I have loose skin. I definitely want to talk to you guys about that in future videos, as well as show you guys, even though that seems graphic. I don't know. If you guys, let me know in the comments if the loose skin thing, like what you guys want to see. Like, is that too graphic if I show you guys? Is that weird? I just think that for other people struggling with that as well, it would be good to do that. So I'm probably going to do that. I don't know. My first step with the loose skin is going to be getting to the gym and working my body to tone that up as much as possible. With that said, I am fairly aware that it's going to take more than just toning and gym time to actually get rid of all of the loose skin. in my current state of mind, I feel like if I ever down the line can afford to do a tummy tuck or anything like that to get rid of the loose skin, then I would probably do that. If I have gotten my body to a point where it is recommended to do that, then I feel like I would be fine giving that to myself. So none of this is set in stone. Literally, I don't have the money for that right now, and I don't think I will for quite a while, and I'm not even at a toned point where a doctor would let me do that. So my first step is going to be to get to the gym and try to tone that up naturally as much as I can. So I hope that answers your questions on that. Also, you guys are wondering if I can make more videos on how to lose weight. I'm not comfortable right now telling you guys how to lose weight because I don't think that how I did it was super healthy, and I don't really want to recommend it to you guys at this point. So my goal is going to be to eventually see a nutritionist. I've already seen a couple, and I need to get more serious about that. And then as soon as I have like actual knowledge to share with you guys that I'm confident about and that I can speak intelligently about, I will do that. But for now, as far as how to lose weight, I just don't feel comfortable giving you guys advice on that because the way I did it is not one that I would really stand behind as a healthy way to do it. So, do I still have PCOS after losing weight? That is an interesting question. I'm glad that you guys asked that. I have been dealing with a ton of gynecological stuff lately. Let's get a little TMI right now. I've been at the gynecologist like crazy. I still have PCOS even after the weight loss, which I was very surprised by because every doctor, when I was at my highest weight, told me that if I lost weight, PCOS would get better. And I guess I can't say that they said it would go away, but they told me recently that PCOS will never go away and it's just going to be there. So I don't know. I have no idea what I think about that. But the fact that I still have PCOS is hard, and most recently that has led to ovarian torsion, which is what I'm dealing with now. So I'm currently in the midst of dealing with the ovarian torsion, which just means that my ovaries are twisting, and that's not fun. So I was in the emergency room for that a couple weeks back, and I'm currently looking for a good doctor to help me figure out what to do with that. So it's a mess, but now that I've mentioned ovarian torsion to you guys, I guess this opens the floor to continue to update you guys on that as well. So I'll let you know. All right, so one more that I missed for weight loss. How do you stay positive during, before, and after weight loss? It's hard to not let your weight affect the way you feel, and I really understand that, and I know how difficult that is. Right now, I'm really struggling because I don't recognize my body. You know, I had a similar body for all 24 years of my life, and then now I have this body that I've never had before, and I don't really know what to do with it. I don't really know what I look like. I don't know. I'm having like some struggles with that mentally. When I look at myself, I still see myself at my higher weight, which I know sounds weird considering you guys looking at me right now and how many of you guys have said like, oh my gosh, you look so different, da da da. I've interestingly had people tell me that I look too skinny, which is also weird. So I don't know. It's part of this job is the fact that I know that I'm going to be judged on my weight like 100% of the time. And that's fine. But like, I don't know what to think about myself or my body right now. I am at an impasse and I have to really work to continue to stay positive about it. I try really hard to stay positive about it. I fortunately had built a base for myself as my plus size self to love myself regardless of my body, to love myself for the things that make me wonderful and lovely as a person, just like the things that make you guys wonderful and lovely as a person have nothing to do with your weight or what you look like. So it's all about deriving your self-worth from inside and from what you have to offer. And so that's what I have to keep remembering for myself when I get down in my dark times and feel like, oh my God, you know, people are judging me, or oh my God, I have all this loose skin and I don't know what to do with it, or if I can ever afford to get it removed, or if surgery or if gym is going to work or whatever. So it gets hard, you know, it can be really heavy, but at the end of the day, you just kind of have to really focus on remembering that you are so much more than your appearance, and that your appearance is just, I mean, compared to the things that we have to offer as humans and what's inside and the beauty that we were created with and our personalities, that's the stuff that really matters at the end of the day. So keeping your outlook positive for me is all about remembering what's inside. That's what I would say right now. But I'm on my journey right now, so I plan to continue to take you guys with me on my self-love journey. So stick around, we'll do it together, I promise. Next question, can you explain more about chakras? Right now, I am not at an educated point to do that. I have not done enough research or had enough experience with it to tell you guys intelligently all about the chakras. That is something on my list of future plans for my channel. I definitely want to learn more about it. I want to spend more time doing that, and I am hopefully getting my chakras rebalanced tomorrow when my stepmom comes up here to help me move. So I will let you guys know more about chakras once I learn more. Right now it's something that I'm doing personally, or that my stepmom is teaching me personally. So since I'm still the student, I will get back to you guys on that stuff when I can be more like a teacher. Sound good? All right, so the last group of questions is all about the journey and losing myself and all of that stuff. I'm gonna start that off with the first question of, do I have any new tattoos? And the answer is yes. I have this one right here. It says other, and I got this about a month ago or so. I got this other tattoo around my birthday in June. It's actually when I got it. It was a birthday gift to myself, because amongst all of this identity crisis that I was having, I was also having a quarter life crisis. I was turning 25. I felt like I needed to be at a place in my life where I wasn't, and everything was crazy, and everything still is crazy. But I really felt like I should have had everything nailed down, solid job, husband, kids, picket fence, that whole like American dream thing. But I just realized that that's just not me, and I'm just not made for that. And I'm not sure that I'll ever have that as my life, because I don't know if that would really fulfill me in the ways that I want to be fulfilled. So I decided that I am other. I am in a list of answers. I am just none of them. I am other. So I'm gonna always be doing things differently. I've always done things differently. I've always just been the kind of person that doesn't like to go with the flow of what the world wants me to do. So I decided to just go ahead and slap that on as my birthday present to myself of 25 years old. I am other, and I am learning to accept this, and now I just need to make that work for me. Okay, so now getting into the real journey questions here. First one I'm going to answer is, what does it mean that you lost yourself? What does it mean when people say that they lose themselves? For me, that really meant that I just over time got to the point where I didn't know who I was, or what I wanted, or who I wanted to be, who I didn't want to be. I didn't know any of that stuff. And I woke up basically with a life that didn't make sense to me and that wasn't making me happy. And as more and more self-exploration went on, I started to realize how unhappy I was, and how much I needed to just go inward and focus on who I am and what I want for myself. So to lose myself, it's very difficult to explain, because it's kind of like a feeling, but it just was, I just didn't know anything about myself. I didn't know who I was, and I know I've said that a million times, but that's really just what it felt like. I felt like a stranger in my own body, and because my body was already a stranger to me, it was just like, I'm like just kind of this floater, and I just didn't know what to do. So I knew that I needed to go out and do some soul searching and figure out any of the answers to any of those questions, to try to give myself some sort of identity, because that was exactly what I had lost. All right, next up, did I travel outside the US? No, I stayed in the US. I stayed in New York mostly, and then towards the end of the journey went back down south finally after months to visit my family and talk to them about everything. And then I went to the beach, and that segues right into my next question of, where was your moment, where was the pivotal point in your journey / moment of clarity? When I was at the beach, which is why I posted that photo to my Instagram when I told you I was coming back, I really focused on releasing negativity. And for me, the beach is the best place for me to do that. I am someone who is very affected by the ocean and the salt air and all of that. And so for me, I just spent a couple days there. I woke up at sunrise, I had my headphones in, and I just watched the sunrise, and then decided I was going to get in the ocean. So I went in my clothes into the ocean at sunrise and just got under the waves, and I just stayed underwater and just, visualized the negative energy leaving my body and giving myself a fresh new start. That rebirth is when that happened, was that morning at sunrise in the ocean. So for me, that was my pivotal point. That was my moment of clarity. Or, well, that was my pivotal point in my recovery. My pivotal point in knowing that I needed to start my recovery was random. About a week prior, I woke up one day very paranoid and very panicked and realized that I needed to make changes. I was in a place where everything was really dark, and I woke up and I just was like, I need to get out of here. It was an intuition thing, and I've always been someone to trust my intuition, and it rarely fails me. So I woke up and I knew something was off. It took me a couple days to realize exactly what that meant, maybe even longer, but I woke up very paranoid and continued to be paranoid. My intuition was sending me a bunch of red flags about everything that I was doing, and my mind just said, you need to quit playing around, you need to get back to work, you need to get your life together, you need to start making money again, you need to be able to support yourself, and all of those things. Like, I don't really know how to explain it because it was completely intuition based, but I just knew that I had gone too far down my journey path, and that was when I needed to turn around and start backtracking, because I didn't know this at the time, but I was about to find the strength that I needed to move forward. Okay, so this next question is a trigger. There is a trigger warning that I need to give out to you guys right now. For anyone dealing with mental issues, dealing with self-harm, this may be triggering for you, so just know that. I'm going to be as sensitive as I possibly can. So during my lowest of my lows, was I ever suicidal, and how did I get out of that? During my lowest of lows, absolutely. I really, really, really had a hard time with the self-harm and the suicidal thoughts that come along with suffering borderline lifestyle. And I was at my lowest point that I think I've ever been in my life. And it's very difficult to talk about, because I don't know if I necessarily want to dredge all of that back up. But I knew that I needed to make changes. I was in a situation that I did not know how to get out of, and that's when my lowest of lows really happened. I could not see that I had any options at all, and that was really, really super scary for me. So at that point, I did something that I don't usually do, which is ask for help. I am horrible at asking for help. I don't generally do that because, I don't know, I've just never been that person that was comfortable asking for help. I like to be independent, I guess. But I asked for help, like I said, I needed a village, and I just made sure that if I was ever in a situation that was dangerous with self-harm or suicidal thoughts, that I always, always, always reached out to someone. And when you're suffering as a borderline individual, sometimes that can be the most difficult thing to do. So I'm really thankful that I had even just that ounce left of strength to be able to do that. And maybe I only had the ounce left of strength because I was that low, that I knew if I didn't do it, I might not have made it. So I know that this is heavy, and I'm hoping that this isn't triggering any of you guys, but the best thing that I did at that time was to ask for help. And so that was what worked for me. And that's what I would recommend doing, even though I know it's hard, and I've never been the person that was very good at that, but now I've seen how important it is and how effective it is. So let's go ahead and move on to the next. So the next question was, did you decide to go on your journey, or did your loved ones decide? I decided that, and at first it scared them terribly because I just kind of up and left. Just like I disappeared from social with you guys, I literally ran away, and that leads to the next question as well, is how did I run away? This apartment that I was living in at the time felt really super caged and reminded me of everything that I was losing and everything that I had to lose and everything that, I don't know, made me feel that way in the first place almost. So I just had to get out. I went, and I had just made a new group of friends, and I went and ran away and hung out with them 24/7 and stayed with them and just tried to ignore everything that was going on. My loved ones were not terribly supportive of this at first because I couldn't really make them understand, and I wasn't very open with them about it either. I mean, I literally disappeared from my own life. I tried to fill them in enough to know so that they could know that I was alive and okay, but I was at a mental state of being so unable to process anything that I just had to just completely pretend to not be myself. Or not even pretend to not be myself, but just turn off everything that was me and just coast and float, and that's all I could do. I spent my days walking around and I just filled my days with stuff. I couldn't do silence. I could not be alone with myself at all. I couldn't be in silence because it was just too loud. And it was just distraction. Every day, all day distraction. And that was how I ran. I didn't talk to anyone that I used to talk to. I ignored everything. And that's not a recommended way to do things in life. I am now suffering the consequences of that. But it is what I had to do at the time. My loved ones came around as soon as I started to be more open with them, which, is obviously on me. So once I let them in and really told them I needed help, they were there for me in ways that I can't even begin to tell you. It took a village, and my parents and my family really showed up. So yeah. Next question, how can you guys be there for me with this? How can you guys help me on my journey? The best thing that you guys can do for me is to support me. And I am so loved by you guys, and I went and read every comment. It took me all day yesterday, but I wanted to read all of your stories and how you guys connected and the things that you guys had to say, and all of you guys are so loving, and it means so much to me that you guys connect with my story and the things that I go through so much, and the fact that I've helped some of you guys and inspired some of you guys. All I've ever wanted to do was be a role model for girls in a society where the role models for girls are not always what I think they should be. If I'm just going to be straight with you guys right now, I want to be a role model for girls so that they know that it's okay to be who they are. And I've soapboxed about this a lot with you guys, and I will continue to make videos about self-love and self-worth and how to ignore societal standards and what you see on the magazines, and how to be confident in who you are as a person. And after reading your comments and your tweets and your snaps and all of that, I am just so eternally grateful for you guys and your support and your love. And that's all I can ever really ask of you guys, is just to continue to love and support me through this and to be on this journey with me. Because at the end of the day, you guys are what fuels me to do this. And if I didn't have you guys, what am I going to do with this? You guys are my muses and my inspiration. And so I thank you for that. And I just ask you guys to stick around if you want to be here with me. I would absolutely love to have you. So that's how you can help me. All right, and the very last question. This is super long. I hope you guys have stuck around for this whole thing. And if you have, then serious gold star. How do I feel now, having lived through all that's happened? I'm still processing everything, quite honestly. And I'm about to move right now to a new apartment. And that's going to be a really big fresh start for me. And I'm going to be on my own with a roommate, and it's going to be different, and it's going to be wonderful, and it's going to be a new adventure. And I just can't wait to start all of this. I have a lot of pieces to pick up. After the last 4 months, there was a lot of destruction, if you will. So I have a lot of pieces to pick up. I'm very, very stressed about everything. I'm very, very anxious about everything, but right now my main goal in life is to protect my mindset and to protect myself. I know that at any point I could spin right back into feeling really, really negative from the borderline. And so right now I'm doing everything I can to protect myself and to pace myself. So right now my life is about rebuilding and protection, and I just kind of have to take everything in stride. But I feel good that I did the journey. I feel like I've grown a lot from that, and I feel like I still have a lot to learn. But at the end of the day, I would rather be struggling and learning than not struggling and completely ignorant about myself. So I'm very, very happy about it. And I, at the end of all of this, would love to reach a stage of enlightenment that was amazing. So with all that said, gosh, this is probably the longest video I've ever done in my entire life. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that I answered your questions. Again, I thank you guys for all of your amazing stories and the way that you connected, and you guys are just the best, most beautiful people in the entire world. So thank you so much. I will continue to keep you guys updated. For those of you, let me remind you, Fail Holy Girl's coming back, and yeah, we're gonna continue on, and I'll see you guys next time. So if you guys aren't already on my Snapchat, I have officially reopened my Snapchat for Ellko NYC. So It's in the description. I'm going to leave links to literally everything I can think of that would be helpful for you guys in my description. But I'm trying to be really more active on Snapchat right now because it's the best way for me to get my face and myself to you guys without having to do the whole like video thing, which is not stopping, don't get me wrong. It's just like fun times also. So find me on Snapchat, find me on other social media, and check my description for links to other fun stuff. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for being here. You're the best, and I love you all so much. Bye.